Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Decide not to stop, sister. Decide not to stop. I describe myself as being relentless. If there's something that I want to see happen, I will not stop until I get it. I just won't. Now, do I have doubt? Do I have fear? Of course. Do I think at times, what the fuck am I doing? Hell yes. But I don't stop. Why? Does that make me some kind of special motherfucking snowflake because I don't have an off switch? Well, I'll tell you, sister, there's been times in my life where I did not keep going. I just didn't. I kind of rolled over. I stopped. And the biggest time I did that was I quit on me. I stopped on me. So I remember in my 20s being very, this is going to come as a big fucking shocker, in your face, bold, outspoken, was often told that I was too much for people to handle. And that continued into my early 30s. I finished chiropractic college at the age of 31. And I had a conversation with a really good friend of mine, still a lovely friend of mine, who came with me with the best of intentions. And I had a moment with this individual that I still remember to this day. Remember where we met, remember the conversation, all of it. And just so you know, this is not a blame and somebody maybe it's none of that shit. It's none of that shit. It was just simply a culmination of a number of conversations from a lot of different people and things that happened in jobs that I had at the time. And, I certainly was at the time too. There wasn't the ability to, how should I put it? Not even read people, but I just didn't fucking care. I just was like, I got something to say. I have something that I think you quote unquote need. So I'm just gonna mow you over with it. I'm gonna flatten you with it. And, I'm just gonna sit here and tell it to your face. And the way that I communicated was not so effective. And if anybody happened to judge me, question me, doubt me, any of that kind of stuff, well then, the intensity of me at that point just got turned up by, 10x. So the conversation I had with this individual was, Karen, I love you. Let me be your mirror. Let me show you what I see. And it was essentially that conversation of you know what? It's just a little too much. It's too much. You're pissing people off. You're turning them away. I love you, but this is what I see. And I began the process of numbing myself for about the next 15 years. Now, did I curl up into a shell and suddenly become a different person? No. A lot of people who knew me at the time may hear this conversation and go, what the fuck are you talking about? You were still that in practice, you were still that very outspoken, and that's all very true. But the real me inside, the voice I had inside of me, the one that was screaming so loud on the outside, that at the time, I remember hearing the voice speak to me when I was probably about 29. I was at a chiropractic seminar in Durango, Colorado, with an amazing chiropractor by the name of Dr. Arnaud Brunier. And I remember having the voice speak to me then. I remember him calling me up to the microphone then, a group of 100, 125 different, mostly students and also chiropractors. And I remember what I said. I have no idea what Arnaud said. Called me up, I was shaking. I'm oh my God, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. But I remember my answer, which was, I'm afraid of my power. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of it. So I quit. So I shut it down. So I became a chiropractor, and my husband started school a little bit later than me, and so when he was still finishing up school in June of 2002, we were at the time living in San Jose, California, and I moved back home. Ed came home with me and a couple weeks off between quarters at school in chiropractic college, and the meantime leading up to that, I was planning and like, what's the name of our practice going to be and how's that going to look, and we had gotten a lease space and all sorts of big ass loans from our banks. I somehow convinced them to give me money, but yet I had no money coming in. Apparently I had a really good business plan. I don't know, they felt something. People were lending money way easier back then. I would get us into a different story later. And we built out the practice, had people, come in to do a lot of the contract stuff and everything and branding. And September 2002, opened up the practice. Relentless. I opened up the doors with 20 new patients on the book that first week. Now, you may not know much about practice, but that's fucking great. Literally the Sunday before, we were kind of finishing up stuff in the office. Ed was only down for a couple weeks, and then he was back at chiropractic college. And here I am, late at night, early in the morning, I'm trying to save some money with the painting. I'm painting fucking baseboards in there, hopped up on iced mochas from Starbucks, doing my thing, relentless, right? Fucking relentless. But I got into practice and, still guns a-blazing, all that kind of stuff. But again, there was that voice that kept calling to me inside, and I would do it in different forms. I would stand up against a chiropractic board that was trying to shut down our right to be able to communicate to the public in a particular way. I would take the bullets for all that shit. I would stand up and be there as the rock for my husband when he was diagnosed with Crohn's and then had emergency surgery a year later. I would keep standing up after failed pregnancy tests, 7.5 years. There's got to be a way, hon. I really want to be a mom. The most relentless battle of my life was that. 7.5 years from when we first started to conceive. We were placed with our first son, Tyson. We adopted that beautiful boy. And then almost 3 years later was our second son, Kai. Relentless. Didn't quit. I felt like quitting several times. And then 6 years ago, I finally decided to listen. I decided to stop fucking quitting on me, and I needed to. I chose to listen to the voice inside that was telling me that there was something else for me to be doing. And I didn't know what it was. And I thought, is it a book? What is it? I feel compelled to. I was like, okay, I'm just going to start writing. Start up a blog. It sucked. It's terrible. First blog post was something about why I love to read. It was 3 paragraphs. I sweated bullets over it. And I pushed publish. And then I migrated that blog over to our chiropractic office website, and here we are, 6 years later. 1 podcast, second podcast, the one you're listening to right now. Field products, trying to create a message, trying to create a movement. Did not quit. 3 years ago, I really went all in on myself. I really went all into my marriage. I really went all in as a parent. Last 2 years, major fucking all in. Relentless. Not quitting. Do you know how many of you listen to this podcast every single fucking day? 3,000 to 4,000 to 5,000 in 184 countries around the world. I want you to understand the significance. And this is not an ego boost, me saying this, but I want you to understand what that really means. There's a very successful entrepreneur that's on stage where I am right now, here at a business conference called Funnel Hacking Live. 3,000 or 30, people keep saying 3,000 or 3,500, one of those two. A lot of ass people. Some of the most successful entrepreneurs that are here. And one who spoke on stage and is very well known and had launched a podcast recently. And I don't know how many months that it's been, but I think it's been maybe 6 months, maybe longer. And is excited that he's got 225,000 downloads. Now, my podcast, More Time, but we're as I record this, we're almost hitting 1.7 million. And he was excited that he was in 40-something countries. Women Want to More podcast is heard in 184 countries around the world. Holy fuck. But yet, very few of you actually move. Very few of you do something with it. I know not all of you will. I get that. I'm okay with that. But it frustrates the fuck of me that those that come to closer connection with me, whether it's through my free Facebook community called the Women Want to More Experience, which if you're not already in it, go to Facebook right now. Go up the search bar, type in Women Want to More Experience, request to be added to the group. Even some of you that are in Sisterhood that are paying me a ridiculously low monthly investment. That's at drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood to be a part of that virtual group coaching program. Even some of you have gotten a free journal from me. Even some of you that come to my live events. Some of you have moved. But in comparison to the number of women that listen to my podcasts around the world, or I've bought some of my online courses, minimal. And then I recently opened up the Women Want to More store. Apparel for women who want to wear who they are. It's another continuation of the Women Want to More movement. I don't fucking give up. And why did I open that up? What the fuck am I doing? Women's apparel? What the hell do I know about that? Because I had an idea. And I was like, what if I can help break the barrier for women that do not have the courage to be able to speak their truth? What if that there was clothing that could actually do it for them? It sounds silly, right? Like every time I share this story, I'm like, this sounds like bullshit. But I don't question the voice when it speaks anymore. I simply fucking follow it. Don't quit. Sister, don't quit. Don't give up. Be relentless. Why am I so relentless in this movement? Why? I kept asking myself that for a long, long time. Outside of, I'm just a crazy motherfucking bitch and I just won't stop. I'm like a pit bull. Why? Journal after entry after journal entry after journal entry. Why do I do this? Why do I do this? It's power. Yeah. It's this, it's that. But here's really what it is. This was what will allow you to not quit, sister. I believe that if women fully plug into the power that they possess as wives, mothers, businesswomen, and selves, that there will be more love in this world. Period. When I wrote that and it flowed out of me on a journal entry, I'm like, what the fuck? More love in the world? Now, I'm a loving woman, but that doesn't sound like me. But when I think of that, sister, it moves me. It moves me. The only way that you're not going to ever quit on something that you want and you become relentless is you got to know that deep why. You got to know that deep why. So here's your more tip for today. What is something that you really fucking want? You want something within your marriage? Fucking go after it. You want your body to be a certain way, a strength level? Fucking go after it. You want more income coming into your family and not be so fucking paycheck to paycheck and struggling. Do you know how many of you tell me that you don't have $17 to do something, a course I offer called the More Mindset System, that literally could shift things following these videos, these trainings? My shit is good. There's a lot of garbage out there. My shit's good. And you can read testimonials and shares from women that have like applied these tools and how it shifted things, but yet are either unable or, let's face it, unwilling to invest that money in themselves. You need to know your deep fucking why, sister. You need to know it. So your more tip is this. What is it that you truly fucking want within your life? You want to learn how to not quit and keep going until you get it, and to get the signals and the signs and to course correct and all those things? Then you need to do the fucking work to get to that place. So for the next 7 days, I want you to write down, what is my deep why for wanting this thing that I want? That's it. And that's everything. So many women will ask me stuff. It's like, this is fucking work. Yeah, but what about what's the top thing? Karen, how did you like decide to leave chiropractic and come and do this? And oh yeah, I just followed 3 steps. Are you fucking kidding me? Years of work. So if you are new to this experience, even if you've been here for a couple of years, you know what? Why don't you fucking decide that now's the time to get started? And now is the time. So sister, 3 things I want to leave you with as we end this podcast. Number 1, the Women Wanting More store. Yes, go fucking be part of this culture. Go get a t-shirt or a tank top or a hoodie. I'm wearing my Women Wanting More hoodie right now as I record this, walking outside here in Florida. In the fucking dark, early morning. Nobody's awake at Disney Resort, swearing my fucking ass off. I don't quit for you. So go to shop.womenwantingmore.com and pick up all the gear that you want and be part of this. And for you to be able to wear who you are, it means something. The words that you see on the apparel means something. There's a story behind all of it. So shop.womenwantingmore.com. Number 2, make sure to subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter. Many of you are not on it. You're missing out. You're missing out. So when you go to drkarenosborne.com/action guide, I'm going to send you the More For Action Guide, which is how to start your day in power, as well as 2 incredible trainings that'll help you remember who you fucking are. So that's at drkarenosborne.com/action guide. And the 3rd is make sure to subscribe to this podcast, sister. You don't miss an episode. And if this is valuable for you, I want you to head over to iTunes and leave a 5-star review. Leave your words. Why does this help you? And think of another woman who's like searching podcasts, looking for answers to the problems in her life, and coming across your review that could potentially change things for her and go, oh, this woman just kind of sounds like something like me, or these words connect with me, and I'm going to take a listen. Be part of this movement and share this up and share your story. So sister, I will talk to the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.